We start with the showdown in a Manhattan courtroom between Donald Trump and his former fixer, Michael Cohen.
Yeah, this is the first time in years the two have been face-to-face. Cohen is the prosecution's star witness in the hush money case. Arthur Chien was there for this morning's testimony, and he's joining us live from Lower Manhattan with an update. Arthur, what's going on?
Bianca, Chris, star witness is right, and he is considered the key witness for the prosecution, and many believe the testimony that he's giving as of this morning here will dictate the outcome of this case. Michael Cohen has been giving jurors an inside look at his role in helping Trump protect himself from certain stories that, if they got out, could damage his 2016 presidential run, and even telling Trump at one point that if Stormy Daniels went public with her story, that more women would likely come forward. Now, as Donald Trump's former lawyer and fixer, he has been offering jurors that inside look and talking about the pressure the Access Hollywood tape created once it went public. Now, Trump was conscious of that pressure, Cohen says. He not only paid off witnesses but intimidated people in order to protect Trump. Now, Cohen made the payment to Stormy Daniels, he says, at Trump's direction, who then reimbursed him while allegedly falsifying business records to cover up those hush money payments. Now, in 2018, with the feds closing in on Cohen, Trump distancing himself from Cohen, Cohen pleaded guilty to crimes including campaign finance violations for his role in paying the two women off who say they had sex with Trump. He said those payments were made to silence them. There was also a doorman as well who was paid off. A year later, in 2019, Cohen testified before Congress to set the record straight, and we show this to you right now since it's a clear window into the testimony he's giving right now in the courthouse behind us.
Mr. Trump is a con man. He asked me to pay off an adult film star with whom he had an affair, and to lie about it to his wife, which I did. And lying to the First Lady is one of my biggest regrets, because she is a kind, good person, and I respect her greatly, and she did not deserve that. And I'm giving the committee today a copy of the $130,000 wire transfer from me to Ms. Clifford's attorney during the closing days of the presidential campaign that was demanded by Ms. Clifford to maintain her silence about her affair with Mr. Trump.
Now, that paper trail and other witnesses that prosecutors have called, including Stormy Daniels herself, are incredibly crucial in this because Trump has been attacking the credibility of Michael Cohen. The paper trail and witnesses would buffer his credibility. Now, Trump denies having slept with Stormy Daniels, and speaking as he came into the courtroom today, he said he continued to paint this process as a corrupt one. Have a listen in.
Bragg cannot prove his case. Got no evidence. And I'm innocent. This is a political witch hunt, and nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it's, I tell you what, the appellate division on the judges should step in, because what this judge is getting away with is disgraceful.
Now, Cohen's testimony, because he is the star witness, indicates that the prosecution is close to finishing up their case. There's an estimation here that they could be finished by the end of this week. The big question now, too, is once the defense has their turn, whether or not Donald Trump himself will testify in this trial. That we don't know yet. That's the latest from here in Lower Manhattan. We go back to you guys. Chris, Bianca.
All right, Arthur, thank you so much for that.